The Man and the Book Map. There was a man that liked to read many books and go to bookstores from all over the place. In one of those bookstores, he found a very old book, a manuscript, actually. The title was How to Cross the Efil Jungle. Efil Jungle was a very large jungle that was far away from the man's home. It was a very dangerous place, with many rivers and with lands full with predators. There were also different tribes that didn't like to see other humans. They would quickly chase after any person they saw. It was a scary place, but there was a legend that said that whoever crossed Efil Jungle will live a joyful and eternal life. The book was written by a man that once decided to cross the jungle. He kept a record of his travel in which he wrote every detail he noticed within the jungle. The writer of the book hoped that those who read his writings would, with the help of the book, be able to cross the jungle and follow his footsteps. When he was so close as he could get to cross the jungle, the man deposited his manuscript in a sealed box, which he then placed on the waters of a river, which flowed through the jungle. The river carried the box through the jungle, but a big storm with high winds, lightning, and booming thunder blew the box out of the river. After some time, the box and the book within was found by another man that was also trying to cross the jungle. The book mentioned every road, every hill, every river and lake of the jungle, as well as where to cross the rivers, where the dangerous tribes lived, and where it was more likely to find predators. It was a fine book, everything one will need in order to get to the other side of the jungle alive. After finding and reading the book, the man felt that it was very precious, so he decided to return home with the book in hand. He wanted to fulfill the desires of the man who wrote it, that everyone should read it and learn from it so that they will also be able to cross the jungle without harming themselves. Unfortunately, the man died once he reached his home, and his relatives, without knowing the importance of the book, donated it to a bookstore. The man who bought it decided to study it. He thought to himself, I will become a master on how to cross Efil Jungle. I will study this book and map, and I will also help anyone who wants to go to the other side of the jungle. He learned every road, every track, and every river. He learned every single detail, chapter by chapter, verse by verse. Whenever someone will ask him anything about the jungle, he will answer without having to think twice about what he will say. Once he was sure that he knew every word on the book and every turn on the map, he decided to start giving speeches about how to cross Efil Jungle. After a few years, he earned the trust of the people and had many followers. One day, he selected some of his most fervent followers and he began to teach them all he knew about the jungle. Eventually, make them masters in knowledge about Efil Jungle, just like he is. Once they were ready, those masters went on their own to different countries to start spreading the knowledge. After many years, the followers in the teachings of crossing Efil Jungle numbered in the millions, and there were hundreds of masters that continued to spread the teachings. Their main teaching was that if you became an expert on the book, and if you believed the teachers of that book, you didn't have to cross the jungle to get to the other side. They say that the man who wrote and drew the map had sacrificed himself so that everyone could get to the other side without needing to try. Since then, Everybody stopped trying to cross the jungle. There was no need to suffer the challenges of crossing Efil Jungle when there was so many experts on the field. When finally another man decided to put the book and the map to test, he went to the jungle and followed the map and the instructions on the book very carefully, paying attention to every single detail along the way. He suffered as he never did before. Mosquito bites, snakes of all kinds were all over the place. Crocodiles, piranhas, tarantulas, tigers, and all kinds of dangers. He especially had to avoid the tribes that didn't like to see other humans. He lived every day as he crossed the jungle with his senses at a very high state all the time. He truly felt alive on those days, suffering but alive. When he finally got to the other side and he found the man who wrote the book and drew the map, he was so happy to see him. He gave him a sincere thanks for having sent the book to the other side. But the author asked him, "But how is that you are the only one to make the journey across so far? I have been waiting for everybody to arrive for a long, long time." The man replied, "There are millions of people that know your book, and they are experts on every single word that you wrote. However, their teaching is that believing in your book is all they need to get here." At hearing the answer, the author started to cry, and he said to himself, "What have I done? I wanted everyone to experience what I live and to make it across safely. Without crossing the Efil Jungle, they will never experience the feeling of being alive at every single second. They will never feel what I felt. I must return. I have to return now."